What you are about to witness is pure political advertising genius in the Hollywood Hills. Here we go.
This mayor race is really heating up. Who you guys voting for? Haven't decided? Same, haven't really been following it. Same. I'm not MAGA or anything. But the city's kind of gone to shit though, right? Oh yeah. Jessica stepped on a needle at the playground the other day. I'm not MAGA or anything though. But have you been downtown lately? Looks like an episode of The Walking Dead. Not that I'm MAGA or anything though. Spencer Pratt seems like he has some good ideas. Not that I'm MAGA or anything. He does seem really angry all the time though. Well, they did burn his house down. Also, apparently he's staying at the Bel Air Hotel, not the trailer on his property. Well, yeah. They burned his house down. Okay, we're all adults here. How about on 3, we just say who we're voting for? 1, 2, 3. Spencer Pratt. Yeah. Spencer Pratt.
It's genius. I mean, it's just pure genius, but it's also reflective of what's actually happening in Los Angeles. Look at this. Spencer Pratt skyrocketing in the polls.
Up significantly over the last few months. You know, you go back a few months ago, February 26th, he had just a 7% chance. What is that? That's 5 plus 2. Now it's up like a rocket. There's a pretty decent chance of it. It's now up over a quarter, a 27% chance. So those who dismiss Pratt's chances, well, you got another thing coming. Because
Spencer Pratt is odds on to potentially win the vote totals in the first jungle primary vote that is this Tuesday. His chances are now skyrocketing up into the 75% that he is going to make the runoff, that nobody is going to get 50% of the vote, and that there's going to be a runoff in November, which is going to be incredible. He's seeing a last-minute surge in the polling, and so the AI meme turned out to be true. So what's just absolutely wild to see. But you can understand why this is happening, of course. We can always outvote cheating, says Spencer Pratt.
And that's why, again, I'm on this beautiful couch to remind everybody to get your ballots in today. Don't wait till June 2nd, because we will definitely win if everyone who's as angry as me in Los Angeles just goes and votes, and they don't just share things on social media or tell their friend they're angry. They physically go vote, and they don't have to wait till June 2nd. A lot of people are concerned about elections and you got to vote in person. No, you vote today. You put it in the mailbox, you drop it in the ballot box. We win with the most votes. And a lot of people, again, in California are concerned about, election fraud. We can always outvote cheating.
Oh, it's too big to rig, is what President Trump would say at rallies, and that's precisely what happened in 2024. So the libs aren't freaking out and losing their minds over Spencer Pratt, and rightfully so. He is an insurgency candidate. He's somebody who's going to expose and promises to put in prison Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom for the amount of fraud that they've engaged in, and so they have to take him out any way that they can. And so Jake Tapper on CNN decided to find a 20-year-old clip of Spencer Pratt saying that he thought that 9/11 was an inside job. Well, first off, 9/11 was an inside job. Go check what John Brennan was doing as the station chief in Doha. Go check what the American intelligence services did in order to allow the Saudi hijackers, none of them were from Afghanistan, the Saudi hijack, none of them were from Iraq, to enter our country and then to train and then to overstay their visas and then to get on a plane. Of course it was an inside job because we let them in and we didn't enforce our laws. I mean, prima facie, it's an inside job because the federal government failed. You can go deeper than that. Spencer Pratt has every right to say that, of course, because all of the data backs him up, but Jake Tapper tried to attack him here over that because it's a very naughty thing to say. Spencer Pratt's response to this, absolutely perfect. Watch this.
Do you still think that 9/11 was an inside job?
What I've learned, almost 20 years later, is it's actually the negligence of the people in power. I would have loved to have gone along with when my house burned down and my parents' house burned down, everyone saying it was lasers, it was a land grab, it was just like Maui, but it's not. The reality is people in charge fail us as taxpayers. And when you're listening to that audio, that's a 20 one 22-year-old person. I'm now 42 and have experienced city negligence, state negligence. And I've learned a lot about it. It's actually worse than a conspiracy. It's that we have people in charge that make mistakes that get people killed. So unfortunately, I was young and naive to understanding how there is people that will fail citizens across the board. And I would have to go back and look at all that. I haven't watched any of those things in 20 years or whatever. But I bet now with my fresh eyes of surviving the city's negligence that burned 12 people in my neighborhood alive, 7,000 structures, and seeing how fast the internet said that was a conspiracy and how I had to be like, no, this is how it happened, this, and this. Now with new fresh eyes, I'm sure I would look at that a lot different. I think anytime we see something that's just so shocking and unbelievable, we as humans want to try to find excuses, but sometimes the excuses are just real simple. People failed us as taxpayers.
So that interview was in 2009. You were almost, it was in July 2009, so you were almost 26 years old, just to be clear. Do you regret saying that? I mean, do you now accept that 9/11 was because of al-Qaeda terrorists, not because of an inside job by the U.S. government?
Well, no, again, what I'm saying is I believe a lot of people failed to allow the al-Qaeda terrorists to get in. So I think the negligence in government allowed, not on purpose, but just failures. They didn't burn my house down on purpose. They just failed.
Perfection. It's perfection. As somebody who worked in PR, I can tell you this is an S-tier response to an interview. Totally disarms the idea that Spencer believes in crazy conspiracies, reframes the statement as rational by showing how neglect isn't far from conspiracy, using his own attacks from the deep state of LA that burned down his home. Genius. After a striking turn of events, Spencer Pratt articulately dismantled Jake Tapper's argument in a segment seconds, demonstrating unexpected insight. CNN should fire their unbiased staff. Should fire their biased staff and untalented journalists. It does say unbiased here, but I think they meant biased. To LA voters, I'm sure their top priority when heading into the polls is comments made about 9/11 2 decades ago, says Michael Avenatti. Okay. Well, broke clock is right twice a day. Worthless conversation by a worthless CNN joke. Spencer Pratt evades Jake Tapper's attempts to trap him in 9/11 conspiracy question, something that would be politically toxic in Los Angeles. And Pratt turns it around to highlight the corruption of gross incompetency in leadership. 10 out of 10. All right, he's talking about the conspiracy theories that are not conspiracy theories at all. They're something that actually did, in fact, happen. Our government did, in fact, let the hijackers in and let them stay and let them train at airport. We taught them how to fly. They didn't know how to fly. We taught them how to fly. That's a fact. Man, the ads out now are just absolutely banging.
How did this happen?
We choice for Los Angeles. Just look.
She's sick.
Spencer Pratt is the common sense choice for Los Angeles. Just look around. The city is a mess and our leaders have failed us. Homelessness, crime, drugs, everything is worse under Karen Bass.
This is bad. She's caught the Pratt. How did this happen?
We restrict her media diet. New York Times, MSNBC, NPR, maybe CNN if we're feeling frisky. Something must have slipped through.
Does she know anyone at all, who thinks for themselves?
I don't know. I don't think so. What is this?
It starts with a mild cough. And then, next thing you know, you hate seeing homeless drug addicts inject near kids. It's very contagious. I'm going to prescribe 4 doses of NPR every hour on the hour, 2 doses of the New York Times, and 5 doses of the LA Times.
Why was Karen Bass in Ghana while the city was burning?
6 doses. 6 doses of the LA Times.
These things are going, you see why they're going viral. Ladies and gentlemen, people are sick of it. People are sick of it. He's got the Joe Rogan endorsement. Man, he's got the Bill Maher endorsement. Could we actually do this? We can. We can. And Spencer Pratt is the man. Go vote. Tuesday is the election day, but you can vote today in LA. Outvote the cheating. Go Spencer Pratt.